Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to its contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. Our pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are award, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are award, lawyers will not be able to go to court practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their SAR is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see this few months a noisy country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
The judge ascribed unto himself an authority that he doesn't have. When specific provisions of the Constitution are raised as subject matter of discussion in the trial, a court of limited jurisdiction, specifically a trial court, does not have the authority to interpret the Constitution. That authority is ascribed to the full bench of the Honorable Supreme Court. To that, the judge had indeed agreed that the former officials of government are immune from any criminal prosecution or judicial inquiry for acts committed or acts carried out while serving as members and statutory members of the National Security Council and principal advisors and agents of the presidency. That immunity of the president that extends to the advisors of the president and the agent, that immunity can never be subjected to judicial review in a court of law. The courts shall refrain from conducting inquiry on the basis that anything will compromise national security. In fact, it's on the other way around.
Whatever happens in any country, that country has no right to direct the speaker or to recall a member, except this assembly is very clear in our rules. So when members or somebody writes a letter recalling a member, but the speaker, this is not something you should even look at, because they don't have the right. Once a member accepts he loses his citizenship, then he has to wait. Even when that person is nominated, is that you swore to serve for a particular period.
At times, even when we read our country reports, a member may read a report that is not favorable to the country. And if members are not protected, they are liable to be recalled by the home country. That is one reason for which the Act clearly stipulates that once a member subscribes the oath, the home country hasn't got any right to recall the member. So I want to categorically state here that that very clause in the Supplementary Act of 2016 should not be circumvented, and the members of parliament from Liberia who have subscribed the oath of ECOWAS parliament should not be recalled by their home country. ECOWAS should be very distinct from the internal politics in our different home countries.
Richard Boone can do better. Can do better to say, you know what, you're in trouble, let me serve my people as representative. He's in a bad spot. Richard Boone is going down in history. Let a neglected, rejected, disowned speaker at this time. That Richard Boone is in a bad spot. If Richard Boone thinks that the people want him as speaker to solve the whole Wahara, he should open an election. If Richard Boone thinks he got 43, 57 individuals that are willing to support him to shut down for that Kofa and bring some respect to that house, Richard Boone should open a new election. He should step down and ask the people to go for election. It will end this whole Wahara. It will end this whole thing.
I'm just warming up. So get ready for me. For the next 13 days, I will keep you crying. And you're crying all over the place. What I will continue to do, I've already succeeded in completely demoralizing your base. You're just crying all over the place. I haven't even started. I'm just warming up. How dare you, foolish, desperate people, talk about rescue country. Joseph Boga couldn't even rescue himself. So when you passing around, oh, cause I did, cause I that. Where were you when I raised him money left and right to feed him and fly him from hospital to hospital? Where were you all sitting there talking nonsense? Talking about cause I ain't got no integrity. I didn't have integrity when I was feeding Joseph Boga. Your God. Bunch of ungrateful people. Have you heard Joseph Boga deny that I was raising money left and right to feed him? Have you heard him deny it? He would never deny it because he knows this to be true. Have you noticed what's happening to you all? And I haven't even started. I'm just warming up. So get ready for me. What I'm going to display and publish, you all will see.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or certain condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is, it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. he has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
It's midweek in Monrovia, Liberia, this is Wednesday. So let me say good afternoon. Thank you so very kindly that you join us for the show, Real Talk on Kings 88.5 with me on this 5th day of March 2025. Yes, we are gradually marching into another year, and then another, and then another, and then 2029. So it's good that you join us again, man. We've got the issues to talk about, and we've got some cash to give you. Start playing the King's Cash giveaway right now. The jackpot for 10,000 Liberian dollars. Dial star 799 star 100 hatch. Play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 and win for yourself 10,000. Start playing now, and then you can have your money before the show comes to a close. I'm Sam Andrews. Thank you all for coming on, and let's have a wonderful time together. Oh yes, another day, man. We are very grateful to God Almighty, who, despite our sins, iniquities, and transgression, will never renege on his promises to us, but will always fulfill his promise. We can help but bless God for keeping watch over us throughout the night, and has set us into this day, a day to talk the truth, to speak the truth. Though it hurts, but it makes sense. Okay? Yeah, not everybody will accept the truth, but it makes sense to those who love truth. Truth is good. Truth is a good element of human existence. So just accept it. Accept that you are in the wrong, then truth is your foe. But if you aren't in the wrong, then truth is your friend. If you are doing what is right, if you are living up to expectation, if you understand where you are, why you took the oath, and why you were sworn in, why you kissed the Bible, then you will accept that you have truth to fulfill. And fulfilling truth is to do what is right. And everyone will acknowledge that you are a truthful citizen. Isn't that what God said? I will say, welcome, my good and faithful servant. Okay, let me acknowledge you great people for coming on. Thank you. Musa Sharif, you've come on. My dear Southeastern sister, Dwight, you are on. Good to have you on the show. Yes. Good to hope that you are faring well. Rose Quite, Frank Diallo Swain, Prince David from South Korea, Yasa Sharif. I know that sometimes you may think it's just not necessary to get your name, your location there. Yes, it is. You're right, but it helps us too with our survey. It gives us an understanding of just everything broadcast. You may not know because you aren't in it. We know it is our area of specialty. So when you put your name there, where you're from, not only your name, but where you're from, it helps us. You may not know, but we know. So that's why it's always good to let us know where you are watching from, where you are following from, where you are listening from. Then we know. So if there is an adjustment we need to make, if we can reach you readily, or you're just not getting it as the way you think you ought, then it helps us. You see, as I go, it's complimentary. So it's not bad. It is a right to just put your name there, but it's also good to say where you are following from. Zobon Utobe, you've come on. Clady Allison, you are also on. Paris Lobot, you've come on from New Jersey. Good to have you on. Edwin Nimne from 9th Street, Sinker. Solowat Corsia from New Georgia. From Denver, Colorado, the United States. Tina Cooper, Asata Miller, Red Light. Jeremiah Giddings, Congo Town, opposite YMCA. Muya Sharif from District 9. Bappin Paul Lee, Johnsonville. Clarence Dwyer, Zebra, Hustle Grind. Yeah, anywhere you make life from positively, it's your hustle grind. Albert Cephas, Caldwell, Brown D. Tusk, that's where? Okay, yeah, from the United States. Prince Riggy from Louisiana Township, Cassava Hill Community, you said. Rodney Ja, you've come on. Okay, all of you, good to have you on. We've got the information to share with you. Liberia is in a dire state, not only the economic aspect, but also the security aspect, the grudge aspect, the malice aspect, the division aspect, just everything go about naming them. So we're giving you some dialogues. Start playing the King's Cash giveaway. Today is Wednesday. You need morning going into the weekend. The economy is hard. Where is Donald Trump? Okay, Donald Trump was before the U.S. Congress last night. Again, you can sense the jittering. You can sense the breakdown. You can sense that sorrowfulness, if that is a word, in vast majority of the people, and this vast majority is inclusive of Unity Party officials, and yeah, it's too terrible. So how they are reporting it, how they are presenting it here, for those of you who are out of Liberia, let me just give you a picture. How they are presenting it here, Unity Party people who are disappointed, shame, like Donald Trump took all of those time to just slam or lambast or denigrate Liberia, as if Donald Trump address was only about Liberia. That's how they're portraying it. Hold on, we'll talk that. So we're giving some dollars, yeah? Start playing the King's Cash giveaway. Dial star 799 star 100 hatch. Play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US, and then you can have your 10,000. So let's get started now. Time is of the essence. 103-year-old Ugandan woman by the name of Mayam is still a virgin. And she revealed that she had been waiting for her man who will show interest in her in 1950, hoping that he will marry her. And in the language, they would say Zungo, Zongo, Zongo. So Zungu was a missionary working in Uganda when he met Maya and convinced her that he will come later to pick her and settle abroad. And since then, she has been waiting. She has been refusing, rather. She has been refusing advances from Ugandan men, and to avoid annoying the anticipated Zugu husband. Interestingly, he hasn't shown up. Yeah, there is no sign that he's going to show up, whether he is alive or not. Yeah, is that interesting? What I just thought to share that with you. A very interesting one. Let's get to the issues with God. Okay. Yeah. So today, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor Fonati Kofa, honored the invitation of the police authorities headed by Gregory Coleman to answer to questions from the police, Bwakai police, Unity Party police, on the burning, allegedly, of the Capitol building, which the government or the police director referred to as arson. They arrived there, but before then, the police barricaded the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, fearing that the speaker, along with his colleagues, will have gone with tens of thousands of people. The same thing they did to Judge Weah. So they are conscious of that. So they barricaded the entire police headquarters, left, right, back, front. But they were deceived. The police were deceived. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, and his colleagues got at the police station, the entrance of it, met scores of police officers, most of whom had batons, few had guns, and they got down from their cars, They are people of law, so they walk most respectfully in clear view of all of the journalists who were there going live around the world. And those police officers, after a few seconds, approached to the speaker. They opened up and he went in. Yeah, he went in. The meeting is stay on. If you see here, this is former Representative Akaras Gray standing there in the red. It is still, I think they're still on. The person you see in the red and the cap pointing his hand is former Representative District 8 Akaras Gray, stalwart of the Congress for Democratic Change. So the speaker went in and then to have their discussion, and they were gathered across the row. The police told them not a single person would cross. Everybody stand across. Yesterday, when the police were coordinating, Unity Party defied the police. All of them were moved in the multitudes on the compounds of the police station. Today, Gregory Comer does not want anybody to enter. So you see there, they put all of them. But I stay on it. I don't want to be repetitive of that. You heard AB last night on Face the Issues about those guys that Gregory Comer brought in. They took their money and then they're gone. So that was dealt with exhaustively. And tonight, again, AB might have extended version of that. So I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't dwell on that because you heard that last night and he might have another side of it. What I would dwell on is the outcome, nothing official yet. The speaker went there along with his wife, his colleagues, few of them, not all, Representative Yeke Koluba, Representative Goshen, and the rest of the guides. They were all there. They accompanied the Speaker of the House of Representatives at the headquarters to find her. Remember now, he is person of interest. That's what the police said, person of interest. Even though the Justice Minister said, whether you lawmaker, you wow, they will come for you. So he went in and there isn't anything out yet. So I cannot tell you this was what they discussed, but he honored the police invitation. The crowd was peaceful. Till now, there hasn't been any report of a skirmish or skirmishes. The atmosphere remained calm. The supporters conducted themselves, and they are still conducting themselves in a manner representative of them as citizens. And I hope they keep it up because the police, the government is only looking for some kind of opportunity. Already, all of the political and existential odds are against them. So they are looking for some kind of opportunity to hang on, to redirect the international community attention on them so that some dollars will start coming in, because they will say the opposition has started to do this, they've done that, they're doing this. So with the peaceful conduct of all of the people, and those of you who are listening to me and you are close to those people, you spread the message. Nobody should engage in anything. Everybody remain peaceful. law abiding. Listen to the police. If they say go beyond this line, go there. If they say don't stand here, no standing, move, you move. You give them the benefit of the doubt. They are predators. They are blood suckers. They are vampires. You got to be very careful. We know that, and I'm not mixing my words. I'm not mixing anything with these words because that's what we see. It is a description. That's what we see how the police moving. If you don't want people to characterize you, then you don't do those things that resemble such character. But as far as I know, the police can be trusted. The police, not the safe haven. So you be careful. When they say you move, you move. When they say stand behind the line or go across the road, you do it. Just as you see the speaker and his colleagues are law-abiding, saver, conducting themselves right in line with the law and moral ethics, you do the same. Give Joe Buakai, his police director, and the rest of the people the benefit of the doubt. That's what you do. Moreover, I maintain that the Capitol building stuff is a blatant lie, and using or want to use the speaker and all of those who are from the Congress for Democratic Change as sacrificial lamb as covered up. But God is hovering. God is watching. God does not countenance anything lie, evil against another person who is innocent. He comes in to fight for that innocent soul. That is what he said in Romans 12:19. What did he say? Vengeance is mine. Do not pay evil for evil. I do it on your behalf. It is a deliberate, well calculated, but it is not working as the plan against the Congress for Democratic Change. Under no condition, a rational person would not be convinced that this is a ploy against the Congress for Democratic Change. It is. Those of you out of Liberia, don't overlook this. We find ourselves in a state in which the Unity Party is ready and desperate to do anything to CDC. There's the grudge. There's the plan in place to go after CDC officials. I am telling you, over the days coming, you will hear some things, you will see some things. Unity Party have had grudge for CDC when they were in position. They were only looking for the opportunity to come in to avenge. And now they are in, and that is what you are saying. Gregory Coleman knows very well that what he's doing to the Congress of Democratic Change officials, it is wrong. It's not right. He wouldn't want anybody to do it to him, but he has to satisfy his master. And satisfying the master along the way, it can be detrimental to you. Everything they're doing was concocted against the Congress for Democratic Change. I told you, and I maintain, they tried drawing former President George Weah into it, but he escaped their hole. He jumped over their hole, just like the hole Joseph would jump over the hole his brothers dug for him. He tried not to give him, not to say a word or two, because he knows who he is. He knows the power that he wields, and this country knows that very well and respects him and honors him for that. And just a word or two, this country, this city will be upside down. So he tries to keep his quiet. He tries to play the wisdom as God requires of anybody of such stature, so that the atmosphere doesn't degenerate into anything. That is why he escapes everything the government, Buakai, and his police, his military, and everyone tried to do. The days ahead of us are going to be interesting days. Watch it. We are in Liberia. Those of you out of Liberia, you don't know. You only see things on screen, but we are on the ground. We are involved. We are close to these politicians and the rest of the people. We hear things. We say things. When we're telling you, we know. It's just a matter of time before you see it. This whole stuff was the police negligence, and Gregory Coleman will opt not to accept negligence, because had he accepted negligence, the call would have been Bwaka dismissing, and Bwaka would have surely dismissing. So because of that, he tries to twist it. There is no way you have a situation and people on the ground, security people responsible to man the place, they are not persons of interest. You will protect them and move on to people who have no idea whatsoever. The burning was a shock to everybody he has today. Feeding on public sentiment that Friend Safoko said he was going to burn the building down. Then they called Friend Safoko, because they knew that they blunder and they were looking for something to hook on to start with. So when people started to say reference, the police was not aware of that statement. It was somebody who brought it up, and then the rest of the people spread it. The police took hold to that and said, good, we can use this one. At least we have something now. God has a way of exonerating a pure heart. What they were looking for, they did not get it. The video, the audio of Representative Frank Safoko said, I will burn down the session. Session is not a building. Session is a discussion atmospherically. So I can say that I'm going to burn the show, which is an expression figuratively to say that I'm going to electrify the show. Don't we hear people using different figurative expressions for intellectual gatherings and other places? You think Representative Friend Safoko in his normal self, in his rational self, will ever want to burn that place down for what? You think Speaker Kofa can do that? Has that been the Speaker corridor? Even from his adulthood coming up, has he any bad character or initiated anything against people or against institution? Least to talk about the rest of the guides. Then somebody said, but on the speaker's page, he wrote Alamo, and then they gave their interpretation to that. The police again hung on that. It was based on that. What you have today as persons of interest by Gregory Coleman, with the acquiescence of his political master, President Joseph Yema Bwaka, was based on that. Those two things. To add substance, in their words, to their quote-unquote investigation, the police director in his first press conference said they have evidence, and they gave those people from the day he spoke to turn themselves in. Otherwise, he will go for them. When you are covering up lies, when your act is deliberate, is diabolic, that's how you sound. He said, we have evidence enough. And we have contacted those persons of interest. And they are to report to the police. If they can report, we will go for them. The next news conference he had 2-3 days after, he said they take black smoke over the building, mean that was arson. The building was set ablaze by human being. From that time till now, the guys have been cooperating. They took 2 of the speaker's staff, tortured them, took them to NSA that they should incriminate or they should add substance to their lies by saying the speaker is aware and the speaker supported it. And the 2 guys insisted. They under torture, they refused. They threatened to place them in the snake chambers. It is this government that made us to know that NSA has a snake chamber or snake den, a place where they have many snakes. And according to Thomas, Edward Thomas, he said they opened the place and show him that if he can lie on the speaker, they will chunk him or they will just dump him in the midst of the snakes. They eat him up. And then they call the state witnesses. One of them said he was the commander on the ground. If this police officer who stood in court and identified himself as the commander on the ground, then who was he commanding? God is faithful. The first, I think he was the first or second state witness. I will get his name. He said he identified himself as the commander, police officer, as the commander on the ground. Then, so the concern or the question is, and I don't know whether they asked him this question because that statement alone now implicated the police. Then, if it was not a one-sided investigation, the police would come in. The man stood and said that he was the commander and he investigated the crime scene. Who was he commanding? To be the commander, it means as police officers, you have people under your control. As a military man, you have people under your control. You are commanding them. They are under your supervision. So, admitting that as the commander on the ground who investigated the crime scene, who was he investigating? Who was he commanding? Police officers. The police officers were there Tuesday, preventing citizens from exercising their constitutional rights. They remained there. They took over the security of the building. Security police officers, many the Capitol building. December, Tuesday. They slept there throughout the night. Wednesday morning, not in the afternoon when everybody there, morning, early morning, the building on fire. Gregory Coleman would not mention his police. They would not bring the police into it. But they soon start lying that this person, early morning, they saw this person coming from the office, this person leaving the building, so they are the suspects. All of those people who were in the building, they did not hold them as suspects, only those 2 people from Prophetic Kofa office. But listen, we talking it and we talk it, but I am convinced, that's what I say, is that it was a deliberate, it's intentional, they know what they are doing. Before this thing happened, before This episode that we are talking about, before it started, AB came on the air. He sat on the same radio on his show. He explained the entire outline of what was going to happen, what was ahead of us. He gave what the people, when they go commentate, they can say play-by-play description. But I want to use the Bible word. He laid out the prophecy. He laid out the prophecy a week or two before this whole thing, not when the fire, before the building, no, after the building got burned, that everything high was going, that they're going to implicate a speaker, that they're going to do this, it will be this, the sonar is coming, they will do that, and he laid everything out. That prophecy came to pass. That it was only intended to fend off Fanatic Kofa from going to the sonar. Insisting on going there, they knew that the atmosphere would have been different. Already the entire world knows that Liberia is in crisis. So what you see happening, it was organized. It is politically motivated. Who you see the police going after? Everybody, CDC people, the economic crimes, say the point, we are government. That thing you see them doing, they connecting. They will restore the endpoint. The whole thing about investigating Twitter and the rest of the people. Listen, the guys know what they are doing. The target is George Weah. The target is George Weah. Hold on. That's not the issue for today, but just a hint. So they are doing everything they can against the Congress for Democratic Change. Keep playing the King's Cash giveaway. We're giving you 10,000 today. 10,000. Dial star 799 star 100 hatch. Play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50. And then you can have your 10,000. Play as many times as you can. And you can have your money. It's difficult. We're in a bad time. So let me close on this way. Many people think that the only time God will punish people when judgment starts. Many people would think that God is not punishing people. You can do all that you're doing when you die. You stand before him on judgment day. That's the time he will punish. That is a blatant lie. God is involved in everything, everywhere, every day. When he said, vengeance is mine, do not pay back evil for evil. Vengeance is not going to be before his throne. That was a reference for the living. That he avenges for the living when someone has come against a person who did nothing to create insecurity for that person, to cause stir and create a war. But you just think because you don't want the person, so you come up and say, this person did this and we're going after, and you people are persons of interest. God can work on that behalf. God can come out with judgment. Have you not seen people pursuing such a thing and then suddenly they get sick and then they die? Have you not seen people in such a situation? Suddenly they're moving and they have terrible accident and that is the end. Listen, let me tell you, you can do any and everything, but you should never ever live without the fear of God. Anything that you're doing, put God first. That's what they call fear. You will enjoy the power, the might, and every other thing. You will enjoy it But you know, the end is disastrous. The end is disastrous. You may think that you are dictatorial, you are tyrannical, you think that you are the boss, you're wielding so much power, you're lying on people, you're taking people to jail, you're prosecuting them, you're doing all of those because you have the power. God has a way of allowing you to eat grass or making you to eat grass and suffer for 7 years like he did with Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar felt he had all the power and authority. He could infringe on people's right, suffocate people, did all that he could do. What happened when God got ready to avenge on behalf of the innocent ones? What did he do? He punished Nebuchadnezzar. He made Nebuchadnezzar to eat grass, that he went mad for 7 years. He is the same God in this time. When you see some people, government officials going mad, when you see they all by themselves talking, when you see things just terrible in the house, when you see things happening, the wife, for I know whatever the reason, the wife can conceive, he moving from medicine man to medicine man, from hospital to hospital, doing all kind of things. God is at work with his vengeance. What did he tell Jezebel? I am using these things to tell you because the Bible is our model of leadership. It tells us how we ought to reign. It tells us how we ought to treat people. And above all, God is watching. That's why they say the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. What did he tell Jezebel? When Jezebel felt that she had power, she had everything, she had influence, she could do anything. What did he tell Jezebel? That if Jezebel didn't stop, he said he would go into her household. Some of you, when God gets ready to punish you, God punishment is not, it's not when you die, you resurrected, and then you stand before him. God punishes the same way he blesses when you are alive. God does not bless you when you die. He blesses while you are alive. The same way he punishes while you are alive. He does not punish when or bless when you die or punish when you die. Heaven and hell is just for sentencing. To say, I already have all of your record, everything set, go this way. That's all. So what I'm saying to you, let them go on. Let them continue to do what they are doing. Gregory Coleman has conscience. The rest of the people, they have conscience. But God in heaven is hovering. God in heaven is watching. Evil never goes unpunished. That's why God said, don't do anything, whatever. And I like how the speaker and the rest of the people are conducting themselves. They respect them. They live in accordance with their instruction. They're not opposing them. They're not doing anything out of the way. They're going by whatever Gregory Coleman and his people will say. And when you live in that way, God is on your side. God is hovering these people. And at the end of the day, God will punish the evil ones. That's why he said, vengeance is mine. Never pay back evil for evil, but he will repay. Yeah. Look at Romans chapter 12, verse 19. That's what he said. So you go ahead. Those of you in power, sometimes you just need to sit down, take this Bible and look at it. If you are a Christian, the Bible is our model of leadership. There's no way you can be successful. There's no way you can have a good reign. There's no way you will know what to do without the Bible. Nebuchadnezzar felt he had it all. And when God got ready for Nebuchadnezzar, God made Nebuchadnezzar to eat grass. He suffered Nebuchadnezzar. Imagine Nebuchadnezzar's families and all of those people, his ministers and deacons and all of those people like we have today. Imagine all of them, they abandoned Nebuchadnezzar. You know why? Because his power had gone. The same way today, when that Charles Taylor there, when Charles Taylor went in the Hague, the same people who were praising, oh, Mr. President, you need to do this. And Mr. President, they were justifying all over the place. When Charles Taylor left, finds himself in jail. What did some of the ministers say? They say that man was very stubborn. He didn't to listen. And he felt that he had all the power. They were making mockery of Charles Taylor. Today, some of them around here, we know them. The same way, you have to be very careful. The same way when we go to church, that expression that you can use, Hebrews 13:8, he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. That is, you know, when you're saying that, you know what it means? The same way he punished people in the days of old, the same way he punishing, the same God that existed and went against evil, injustices, infringing on people's rights, corruption, every other thing. That same God is still existing today with the same attitude. If you ain't be careful, you will see some things in this country. You'll be lying on your colleagues. You're put into jail because you get guns. You have the jailhouse unto you. You have power. You have everything. You continue to lie on your friends that Prophetic Kofa will go burn Capitol building. That Jason Sibo will take 100 US to get to boys to go burn Capitol building. That Abu Kamara there. Listen, these guys are Jason Sibo. You know, Jason Sibo had been a rich man from day one. So what is it that Jason Sibo don't have that he's envious? And even if Jason Sibo will have any envy, that Capitol building he will be envious of? Yeah? Capitol building? Abu Kamara, one of the money men in this country. But these people can boast. These people can brag. So you think that they are nobody? That these people with great wealth and cash will go burn Capitol building? Gregory, come on, stop it. Look in your boss and say, Mr. President, this is our fault. I have my men on the ground. This is a default. We take responsibility. I'm sorry, Mr. President. I will move to the legislature and tell them and appeal to them. We are Liberians that will see reason. It's all about leadership. When you can accept your fault. It is not leadership when you think you are clever enough to indict people or to lie on innocent people and you suffer them because you must cover up. God will treat you just like he treated Nebuchadnezzar. You go in the Bible, you read it. Go to Daniel chapter 4. Daniel chapter 4. Start from chapter 25 all the way to 32, 33, 34, 36. You will see it. Until Nebuchadnezzar had to say, God, sorry, I beg you. I beg you. I was doing things without you. I beg you. I've gone through this. I really feel everybody abandoned me. All the people who were calling me, oh king, live forever, your majesty. All of them, I know where they're going on their own. I am alone suffering in this pain, this excruciating pains. You be careful. You be careful. Yaka. Me, I'm just talking about my God. I know how he operates. He can allow his soup to get cold before he drinks it. I know Jehovah. He can allow his soup to get cold before he drink it. When you think that he's not concerned, he ain't concerned about you, that's the time he comes. You'll continue. You'll lie on those people because you want to see them going to jail. Mr. Justice Minister Oswald Twe, you know that is not the character of your colleague, your professional colleague and longtime friend and brother. You know that Prophetic Kofa can do that. But you are under the spell of Nebuchadnezzar, so you're moving. But you have to be careful so that you don't come under the spell of the one who is above everybody, God Almighty. The Bible says, in everything, fear God. Fear God. That means when you're treating people, be very careful, know what you're doing, how you're doing it because God himself is watching. Those of you who on the other side, you're happy. And Richard Kuhn, he's happy because he thinks he's speaker now. God in heaven has a way of turning everything around for the good of this country. You're seeing it now, and you're seeing the wrath of God. You think God will kind of think everybody will die? Then the whole of Liberia stand before God and say, you did this, didn't I? You did this. So no, that would never happen. If you're waiting to see that, it will never happen. God starts his judgment from here, from the earth, right here. That's why he said, never pay back from evil for evil, the living. Leave it with me. I will exact justice. You see what is happening to Liberia? Yesterday, I shared with you the EU boss. She said investors are not coming to the country. She had a meeting with private sector stakeholders, and only a single topic they had on the table: why investors are not coming to Liberia. The few that are here, they are leaving. Why are they leaving Liberia? Look what happened. Before then, you have fires all over the place, everywhere. And today, the country is still battling fires indiscriminately everywhere. That is a sign from God. God works with fire. God judges with fire in the very Bible. Look at all the things that are happening all over the place. Liberia has become the comedy stage. Everybody make fun of Liberia. Look how the country was disgraced in ECOWAS Parliament on yesterday. President Boubacar Kerry, Richard Kuhn, the only place that Boubacar was successful with this Richard Kuhn, man, the Ghana's inauguration, and I told you people the reason. When he fell off, the only person who went to his house was the former Ghanaian president, Nana Akufo-Addo. He stayed there to sympathize with him. And beyond there, before Nana Akufo-Addo left, he been communicating with him. Boubacar went to Ghana with a blatant lie that today the history can prove itself, that he had gone to see an old friend that he helped, whose daughter was getting married. Today, we know that daughter. We know where it happened in Ghana. Ghana has never ever brought up anything like that. You have a prominent person. The president is a political icon, a president of any country in any place other than his own. There is the paparazzi. The media will pick it up, will pick that person up no matter what. We have enhanced and exposed social media. It will be on. It may not necessarily be on all of the thousands of platforms, but you will have some platforms carrying it, and the rest of the platforms will pick up it. Today, nothing like that. Mr. President lied. He only went there to influence because he was trying to give legitimacy to an illegitimate person. So he went there through Nana Akufo-Addo, the influence, the Ghanaian speaker, and then they wrote his name in the program sheet with pen instead of computer. They just wrote it with pen. That's why the guy could not identify Richard Kuhn good. So he just said, the speaker of, then he paused for a little bit. He almost called for that name. Is that Richard Kuhn? No, he said number Kuhn. That's the only place. So Richard Kuhn feels that he's speaker. I'm not talking about him. I'm just saying this in passing from what unfolded yesterday. All these things that you see happening, they are characteristics of God's judgment. And judgment, as used in the Bible, it means punishment. When you harbor evil against your brother, against your fellow man, when you have divided the house or divided the country, and you think that you are the lone authority, that's how God comes in. He frustrates everything. Anything you put your hand in, it will not work. Anywhere you go, you will just be seen as Mickey Mouse. Nobody will take you serious. People will be suspicious of you. That's how God works. Those are the characteristics of God's punishment. That's why he said in Romans 12:19, you look it up. He said, vengeance is mine. Don't do anything. I will repay. Everything that these guys, the lies that they have brought against Fonati and the rest of the people, God is repaying them. Nothing happening for this government. Nothing, absolutely. Money is about to run off in this government. Things will get hard and even harder. Brace yourself for that. But God will see you through. Don't worry. God has enough provision for the clean heart. You continue to lie. That whole thing was just a political ploy against CDC officials. All of the people they have in their bounds, all of the people they have in their custody are CDC people. All of the people. And then you expect people to believe that this is an impartial stuff. It is a political stuff, a political prosecution, political trial. And the judge who's sitting and presiding comfortably, God too brings you into the equation. You have to be very careful. And this is where God is very swift. He does not delay because he is the God of justice. So anybody who has the responsibility to dispense justice, God is hovering you. God is watching. God is right over you. When you dispense justice unfairly, God can take instant action. We've seen it all over this world. We've seen it. God has even sent George crazy, walking from the court. Everybody think that man joking, but serious thing, taking on a court, going. Some of the crazy people that you see on the street, we call them crazy. Some of the people you see just walking mad, that God right there, God punishing. You continue to lie on people and suffocate them because you get power. So that what unfolded today at the police station. Then very quickly, continue to play the King's Cash giveaway. We've got dollars, man. We got dollars to give you. We got 10,000. 10,000. 10,000. Just dial *79 100 hatch and play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50. That's all you need to do. Just play as many times. Get money. Get money. We are in the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. How many times and how much must I say this? Have you not understood yet that the economy of this country or the country is just hard? Didn't the Minister of Finance and Development Planning say it? You can hear people talking about it all over. Did you not hear Erika? I think if she hasn't left Liberia, she's still here and will be leaving anytime soon. She got into the country a couple of days ago. She's just been around. Didn't you hear Erika say yesterday that she had a meeting with private sector stakeholders? And the reason was to find out why investors are not coming to Liberia. When investors not coming to Liberia, what do you think is going to happen? Donald Trump cut off every aid to Liberia. Those small NGOs then that were getting millions, thousands, that were feeding on other, that money was in the country. It's not happening again. Those NGOs are folding up now. That means they turn into something else because money not coming to them. Businesses are not really the people that should be pumping money or cross-border trade. You see that it's not really effective again. So it's having a serious impact on Liberia. When we're telling you all the thing, how you want to say it now? The people on the other side, United Party people, then they're lying to y'all. There's all things already, things this and that. The president doing that. That is a lie. That is a blatant lie. Nothing happening. Everything you're hearing, that's what the Englishmen call rhetoric. Rhetoric is a long speech with enticement so that you will say, yeah, that's true. The people working, the people doing this, and the people say nothing happening. You see, the president just talked about 20 million, and Gabon and the people yesterday, they signed 20 million. But you can see nothing. It's not happening for you. So we try to look for money. Then we say, we ain't able to give you what you want because we can meet all your needs. But we can give you 10,000. That 10,000, yeah, you just play the King's Cash giveaway with $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US. You dial *799*100#. That all. Then you get your money. It's going to be very difficult. I don't know how to say. I don't like to talk about a reality over and over. I don't like to sound like a broken record. But we know God in heaven will not come down to tell you that things are going to get very tough in Liberia. Very. That's why we try to give you money. Just play. Play as many times as you can, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. All right. Dial *799*100#. And then play with $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50. So let's go now. Where is LRB? Let's go. Let's talk this briefly. Then we can open the line so that you have your say on the show. Real Talk on Kings 88.5. We are transmitting from Central Morovia, Front Street, adjacent the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. Yes. Yeah. Today is Friday. It's Friday. Okay. So this is where we go. Let's talk about this. It's very serious, but we'll talk about it briefly, and then we move on to something. It's bad off in Liberia. People, you pray. I know what I should say. You pray for the country. No, you can pray for the country, but you can pray for the government. You can pray for the president. I can tell you to pray for the president. I can tell you to pray for the government, but I can tell you to pray for the country. But you will say, Sam, that's the same thing. If you're praying for the country, then you're praying for the government. So what's the need? Well, you can discern that. Okay, this is where we go. This is where we go.
$5 billion for voter confidence in Liberia. $1.5 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 billion for voter confidence in Liberia. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $1.5 billion for voter confidence in Liberia. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're fully identified. $1.5 billion for voter confidence in Liberia. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. We have already identified $1.5 billion for voter confidence in Liberia. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're certified. $1.5 billion for voter confidence in Liberia. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and there are far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. There's so confidence in Liberia. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $1.5 billion for voter confidence in Liberia. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and there are far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars and we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation.
So the President of the United States will face the Congress and give a full report. Back home, they are vexed with him. They are giving different interpretations to it. Some of them are portraying it like Donald Trump vilify Liberia, condemn Liberia, and some of them will put it on racism, that he is a Republican racist because he was very fair. Some government officials will appraise the U.S. president's statement as being very fair, looking at it from his country perspective as the leader, showing leadership. Some of them think that he bullied Liberia. So yes, I read a couple of them today. Very interesting. So you can sense there are two school of thoughts. One thinks that President Trump was right because he is in line with everything he promised to do as per his platform. The other school of thought thinks that the President of the United States should be a little bit soft, then hard, get rush to take those decisions, which is affecting Liberia. Yesterday, the Minister of Information gave a public address. Listen, the guy, I don't like giving the kind of description or the characterization to the Minister of Information the way I do, but he gives me the cause. He sets the stage for that. You're talking about Donald Trump's decision, then you're making your people in Liberia to think that it is not really important. Liberia is not the only country. No, it's not for you to tell the people Liberia is not the only country. Tell them how you are going to solve, what mechanism in place. So the decision is off. Donald Trump finished with it. I don't see USA coming back to Liberia. I'm not within the hierarchy diplomatically and by this government, but I do not see it. If USA will stay operate in Liberia, the changes will be too strenuous that it will still have a damning effect economically on Liberia. I don't see it. Trump is vexed. What expression did he use? He said appalling waste. Appalling waste. And that's how people were getting rich here. Corruption. Corruption. So corruption starts with the white man. it ends with the black man. No reason why Trump described people within USA as lunatics. That's how people were getting rich in Liberia. Small NGO, the people will write proposals. The proposal will be so palatable, so juicy. When they send it to those NGOs, say, oh, okay, you want to construct a light pole in front where in front of the Ministry of Finance. Okay, then the money that you see in a small for one lepo, 250,000. That money will be dispersed. That's how most of the NGOs were splashing out the money. People within Liberian and American people and other people inside, they were getting the cost, and then they were acting so strenuous. So you see that the people were just using the money all over, everywhere. So they call the money now, or they stop the program. You see how you're looking. Most of the NGOs here now, they're not operating. To add insult to injury, NGOs not coming. How the people were coming? No money coming. No money coming, a bad off. Boaka government ain't get solution. I told y'all will see a Gafwan appearing tomorrow again. In Ellen, you hardly saw, through our Ellen regime, we hardly saw Gafwan on radio or heard Gafwan on radio. Gafwan was relaxed. Gafwan was conservative. He was not really a friend of the media in Ellen's time. But what happening now? Gafwan say, hey, Ministry of Finance people say, y'all go tell the other radio station, y'all go tell the other radio station, I want appear. Because you know why? The beginner can say in Labyrinthine a shade. So he won't be explaining. Gafwan is finding exit strategy. I told you, and I will continue to say it until you see it. Gafwan is finding exit strategy to leave Boaka government. It's tough and not easy. That opportunity Gafwan had with Ellen's backing and the international community to solve that HIPIC initiative, that vulture stuff when Liberia debt rose to I don't know how many billions. With the help of early and international partners, Gafwan was able to wipe up that debt. That one of the morals he has in his CV. He comes back now, he thinks the atmosphere is the same. Finding solution is very difficult. The man is finding exit strategy. One money your worker here, Gafwan resign. Gafwan going back to this place, or Gafwan has the you'll say, oh, but same man you said it's not news. You sit down. It's rough and not easy. Things are tight. They're fighting hard, but solution is not forthcoming. They refuse to cut their pay. They talk about austerity measures. You see, this country is its own problem. You don't blame. Let me sound racist. Let me be a bit unprofessional here. And please accept that. Let me sound racist. You don't blame the white people. The white people, not Liberia problem. Liberia is its own problem. You find yourself in this dire economic situation. And the only way out is do an austerity cut across the board. You said no. You must only cut on benefits. Squash card, toilet tissue, rim of paper. How can that help? Let me give you a classic example. Barcelona. Let me use a football team because they've been in it for several years. Barcelona find itself in a dire economic situation. It was so terrible to the extent that they had no money to buy players. They could not really sell as the way they wanted to. Things was just tough. So when the new president, Jean Laporta, came and looked at the books and all of the factors surrounding the club, what did he say? He said players will have to accept or do a pay cut. So if you are taking 450,000 every week, because they pay them by week. Some people 450,000, some people 780,000 every week. Every week. So you will cut that into half. So the one that you will leave with you, and then the other one will go into the club's coffer. So they did that for a couple of years. That today, they are out of that financial quagmire. They are out. That's what they call austerity measures. You can talk about austerity measure, then the legislature, he won't call their pay. Executive officials, he won't call their pay. President can call his pay. All the people there, they can take any cut. But then they say they're cutting on scratch cards, on toilet tissues, on rim of paper, on pin. Yeah, they're cutting on all of those things. Those are not the things that you need to cut. When you have 173 lawmakers making 11,000 United States dollars, cut that by 5,000. You got executive ministers. They're making, some making 8,000, some making 12,000, some making 11,000, some making 10,000. You look at the payroll and do a cut by half. At the close of the day, the money that you are lacking, if you will not have all, you will have substantial. And that will take you out of your economic doldrum. So nobody waiting. The legislature, the guys are not willing to take anything called pay cut or austerity measures. Buaka not willing to tell his people. The judicial officials not willing. We will be in this thing here for a very long time. Very long time, until you can reach that decision. Buaka can look at his people and say, we in this thing, we have to get up. Everybody take this pay cut. Because the thing is just for a while. That's crisis, and crisis doesn't last long. That's all. When we get out of it, fine. That's what Barcelona did. They said, look, your cut, your pay. When we come out of this thing, then we will put your money back. So the players were cutting. They were agreeing to pay cut. They were reducing their salaries. That what get Barcelona today. Today, Barcelona can sign players because they're out of it now and they're in a good financial standing. That's what you do. That's what countries and other institutions do all over the world. But you say because you got a bunch of greedy people who want to be seen as the only money people. Where they go that Liberia, you can't be bluffing. Liberia play the bluff. 80% of the people poor. So few people you get money. They're not bluffing. They play not bluffing. Play what? Yeah. You got grocery. You look at that kind of way. You go anywhere. You're awful. Bluffing. I beg you, man. Let's go to the line, man. But before then, keep playing the King's Cash giveaway. It's 10,000 Liberian dollars we are giving out today, midweek, Wednesday, in this difficult economy, the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. Nessa Jordan said, because they don't care about the poor Liberian. Matthew Choloplay writes, when the worst thing happened, that's the time Liberian people will know that, will know what you will know you are saying the truth. Okay. Tano Samson said, Buaka IG is lying on those people. Yeah. And Claudie Allison said, these Unity Party people will get their results for lying on innocent Liberians. Josephine Yema said, please don't forget about no, don't worry. That teacher like and bring a water. I mean, I can use glass. Again, that teacher like bring it. I already know the state of our president. Yeah. All right, let's get to the line. Start playing the King's Cash or continue to play. Isaac Gunen said, we need to be very careful because Liberia is sitting on a time bomb. Bola Boka said, okay. So let's go to the line, man. Let's go. Let's have your say. Let's do it as quickly as we can. As you play the King's Cash giveaway too. Dial star 799 star 100 hatch. Play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US, and then you can have your 10,000. Let's go to the line and then we talk the next issue and we out. 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 0375. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Let's hear you. Your name and where you call from.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stephen. Good afternoon to the people in Radio Land. Let me state in your analysis, my brother. The Social Boata Unity Party regime is trying to create a problem that tomorrow, when that problem shall pass, they will not be able to do it. They are witch-hunting people in this country. You cannot be lying on innocent people. Yesterday, in a same government, the financial Kofa that they are accusing of forcing the outcome, financial Kofa house got a fire here. There was no investigation conducted. Nobody popped into the situation when financial Kofa house got a fire. Nobody showed concern. This government did not show any sign, no concern to show. But today, they want to be accusing financial Kofa of being responsible for the fire at Capital City. I think it's very much unfortunate that a single-minded man, the financial Kofa, a logical man, somebody who holds a Jewish individual, even have that low thinking.
Okay, Chief. Thank you.
Country.
Thank you. You want to go straight to the point. Hello.
Yes. Hello?
We are listening to you. You are on the air.
Okay, this is Emmanuel we are calling from Ghanaville. Brother Stan, thank you for the show. Let me assure you that this regime had nothing to benefit except stealing. That's the only way. The Liberian people will continue to look down this regime, and if the regime recalibrate, what will happen to them is that before this year end, there will be a serious disaster that will take place with this regime, and the children of God will be highly protected, and those that think that they think in their thinking that this government is doing the right thing, they all with that disaster will visit them like the way they took place with the Egyptian the days of Moses.
Okay, Chief.
This government is continuing to proceed the wrong way. Thank you for the show.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. Yes. Everything has its own effect. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tamanju.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, let's hear you.
Hello.
You are on the air, Chief. Talk.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sam Andrew.
Good afternoon. Let's hear you. Your name and where you call from.
Yeah, I'm Peter the Vicasso. I call from under the street like in what John Silver. Thank you very much for the fascinating discussion this afternoon. Let me firstly extend my appreciation to Jonathan, the President of the United States of Liberia, for that particular rational policy. Mr. St. Andrew, America will not continue to be spending a government that is very much incompetent, and they are not even concentrating on governance. Look at what is happening in our country. Joseph Boaka and Gogol Kuma bring the capital building, but they feel that they can share our attention. We are holding the day and the one that bring the capital building, and whatsoever they're doing, it is clear.
All right, Chief.
And let me tell them, and all our CDC official Boaka, you must take time with that, and you really want to end your stay here in peace. You have to take time. Fanatic Kofa and any guy from the CDC official, from the CDC party. Take time with them. They are our chicken air.
Thank you so much. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's hear your name and where you call from.
Sam, this is Hussein.
My
name is Hussein Kiel.
Let's hear you, Mr. Kiel.
Yeah, I listened to the different analysis. Thank you. So, in relation to those who were invited, Mr. Kofa and those police teams should provide clarity on our involvement with the brain of the capital. In my reasoning, I don't think anybody should target whether they are part of a political party or a religious grouping, because we are all Liberians and we are all protected under the law. So this is why the Liberian police is under the obligation to protect properties in the interest of its citizens. So if people will say that the police is targeting citizens, I want to take a serious exception to that, because citizens should be protected under the law, and this is why the police should protect every Liberian citizen. So with that perception, I want to respectfully disagree that the police, opposition leaders have been working over a period of time in maintaining the peace. Even those motorcyclists that were protesting this whole time, there were a number of citizens, there were numbers of Unity Party partisans, Liberty Party, people from different diverse groupings. They were part of that protest and went today and gave that petition. So the government will protect every Liberian citizen. I don't think no citizen should be targeted, and the government, our president, is under the obligation to instruct its lieutenants to protect and maintain the peace of our society. So the government will do just that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hussein. Have a nice Wednesday.
Thank you, Sam.
Okay, let's bring the hearing person of interest hearing has ended. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, will give an interview to the waiting press. Here's it. Let's have it.
Of course. As a speaker, he did say. Of course.
Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay.
There were charges that were made against some firefighters were brought in from the states, not for mutual assistance, friends of the police, and then they made up virus on the speaker. What next thing following the investigation? Did it take a particular time to get to do what next? No. The investigation. As a matter of fact, what do you make of the testimony by investigation from the investigators?
Okay, so that's the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, giving a briefing there. Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. Cut off your radio.
Okay, I'm away from it.
Let's hear you now.
I'm Pastor Aaron McGill.
Who?
Pastor Aaron McGill.
Let's hear you, Pastor Aaron.
All right. First and foremost, I want to commend you for the topic under the discussion. But what is more cardinally needed to be addressed, and that is the way the government is treating governance. We are seeing the governance system of this country being jeopardized by taxing other people or engulfing other people into problems that subsequently there is no sufficient proof. And most discussed to look at one of the most populated political parties and just grab them in one bundle and trying to lift them like a syndicate. I mean, it speaks volume. And the next thing, Honorable Richard Kuhn, he's not a speaker. Because anything is not done legally, it's not done at all.
Okay, Chief,
we
thank you.
can't be letting people in our country and act like we don't know what we are doing.
Thank you, Pastor Ire. Hello. Hello.
Yes, well, I'm Manju.
Let's hear you quick.
Yeah, there's the voice of Sabu Rasta joining you from Perfu to be specific in Zimbabwe.
Let's go quick.
Same as for me, I'm not surprised. Let me tell you, Sam, from the day the Bible says in the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 8 that blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. God bless those that are pure in heart. That's what President Weah is blessed. I'm following President Weah. From the day, for the initial stage of the book Anita was coming to power, you know what? They say, Manju, above rest. That's why the reason I'm getting me hard time saying right now is the soup problem, because the market is very high when it comes to the soup.
Okay.
For me to cook my rest.
Thank you very much. You will get soup. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Rose Dotto. I'm calling from Front Street.
Mm-hmm.
But I know this Wusi boy, yes. I would really like to ask you if all the sedition and in Republic of Liberia, it will get it ready on us when we walk in the street. If sedition ready on us, people go protest on the motorbike team business. Then why you manage to know that sedition were among these people there? Why this Wusi boy, just shot a mosquito thing said that he don't know. Why is this problem? Why problem? And looking at he got serious grief problem. So in Republic of Liberia, nobody else can talk on something. That means they are sedition. If the government wrong, anybody and the person go talk, that means a sedition go talk. That means the person is a sedition.
Okay, thank you. Hello. Yes, good afternoon.
Okay, I'm Maros, and I come from Freeport. I want to say thanks for your discussion. And I think what you are doing is good for you to keep flagging things so everybody don't know that shortcomings to change. Really, what this government is doing is not fun. It's embarrassing, and it doesn't show that this nation, it's a Christian land, because Christians are not supposed to behave to one another like what we are doing, like what this government is doing. Really, I'm embarrassed. Most of the time I listen to the topic, I think, but I heard that President Weah helped the vice president, former vice president, I think when I'm president, he helped him when he was sick. And all this what I ran into, where were they at that time? That those men helped him, carried him out of the country and treated him. And today he came back to pay with this kind of wickedness. Really, okay. I can really see how human beings can be so wicked like that.
All right, thank you. Thank you all for spicing up the first live of the show. Real Talk on Kings 88.5 with me, Sam Andrews. Let's have a listen. Hold on. They just concluded. So we've been trying to get a word from the speaker.
Welcome to the press. We'll take 2 questions.
One specific question.
So how was it? How was the police officer? It was, I guess someone said it's 3 o'clock, so it was about 2 hours. Most of the press they asked me about my employees. At the reach, they asked me Facebook.
The man said they asked him about the Facebook Alamo. Gregory Coleman ain't got nothing here to you. The man said they asked him about a Facebook page.
As a Liberian citizen,
we don't find with library.
Okay, so I will get it right and just thinking, the crowd, so the crowd overshadow his voice, and he's not a loud talker. But don't worry, we get it. Try to get the clear version so that you listen to him. But he said they asked him about his Facebook page. Look, everything Gregor Koma made it. So, how they call this? Yes, say. Here you go. Hey, man. Look, you're taking for your face. They country will quit to forget about Sunday. You're taking for your face. You just come and say, yes, we're sorry. We beg you. We ain't get nothing. That thing, the people can say that in La Brother Vlad ain't going nowhere. Gregor Komanjo exposed the police, he exposed Waka, he plunged this country into a situation that it will take years for people to forget. The same thing that led people to joyously receive gun, to pay back. That today, thousands of people under the ground. The thing that Gregor Koman doing so. The thing that history told us how the previous governments in the past were trampling upon people, doing this, putting them in jail, killing them. And it all started from Samuel Doe government. The people say, oh. So as soon as they hear about WAR, oh no, they say, yeah, the people start running for guns. So your girl, well, they never knew how to, there was no training, no formal training, nothing. But the idea they felt that it was an opportunity to pay back. They had to took a gun. Say, you, ain't you a police officer? You know me? Say, no. They say, and you are on the line, your Capitol building, and you're beating the lawmaker, then get on the side. That's how they're identifying people doing the war. That the thing Gregor Koma doing so, the thing that brought the war. You don't get no evidence. Your yes say. You got the man said they asking about a Facebook page. Nothing extra about that thing. The one he put there called Alamo. So that one Gregor Koma and hold on. Friends are forgo. The man said you will burn the session. They say Gregor Koma, the man said you will burn the Capitol building. Can a police officer call yourself professional man? Feed on public sentiment. Use public sentiment to go against. And you can't prove anything from the very first day. You can make sense out of nothing. Because there is nothing available to make sense of. There you go. Unity Party, man. But listen, drop Unity Party, Benny. This country, you ain't concerned about this country. You ain't know where the country came from. Oh, when the people are going through all the other things, you people were sitting out in America and in other parts of the world, you're enjoying yourself. So you ain't feeling it. You ain't know. But you continue, God will punish you and your disaster. Just had Nebuchadnezzar ate grass for food. That had some of you will be here. Gregor Koma here, people, they have not used intellectual expression. First of all, say, we'll burn the session intellectually. It's an intellectual expression, a figurative expression intellectually. See how the guys argue in the house. So all the time they've been arguing, all the expressions that people use there. How the house in burn down now? All because you wanted the man to step aside. You did all kinds of things so Rachel Kun would sit down. That all. You did all that thing. Look at your own plane. Your plane make no sense. Ellen wanted to remove speaker, and Ellen did with ease and confidence. Ellen's removal of speaker never divided the legislature. It never plunged the House of Representatives in confusion. Ellen never had two speakers. Parliaments outside. They never rejected. Simple. And the man walked with Ellen. He was in Ellen government. Saw Ellen doing all of these things. Still working in license. What a clip that the man was 12 years on Ellen. He know nothing. The man know nothing. He learned nothing. You know the essence of being understudied? The essence of being understudied, you are a potential successor. So that person is grooming you. So you need to humble yourself show curiosity, learn a lot, so that when you are there, you are in a good position. But Bwaka not learning anything as understudy. He was just there. So you see, Gregor come on and using him. They're using him. Grace paid in. All of the put Mama Kability and Rahim, they're using him wherever they put Bikosu on him. Wherever they put purple suit on him, purple suit out of star. At the time he wearing purple suit. How many presidents you can see wearing purple suit again? At the time Bwaka and he said he raising morale purple suit. The man who brought purple suit into Liberia, he finished with it. So you can't see people wearing purple suit again. You see how good to be celebrity? When you are a celebrity, anything you do, people tell to when you're not doing it, people forget about it, they leave it. That we have brought purple suit into this country. People started wearing purple suit. The next thing he introduced, purple suit with sneakers. People started wearing it all over the place. The man, he ain't got time for purple suit. If you can see people wearing it, go to the purple suit stores. At first, they used to be selling it 150, 200, 350 got a hat. But go there now, alpha A. They'll tell you 60, yeah, pay 50. It coming down, purple suit will be $40. Because the celebrity has gone to something else. That's how do celebrities, they sway opinion in society. They change behavior. Anything they do, society just take into it because of their nature. Bwaka, that see all that thing, the man said that one Gregor Kofa go call the man for. They ask you on Facebook date, the other one that, the other one, how the thing connected to burning the building now? So you call the man to just waste the time. You ain't got nothing. God working. God working. Y'all be careful before God sends some of y'all crazy. Y'all be careful before God enter your homes and start dealing with some of your families, your wives, your children. God has a way. That's what he said in Romans chapter 12, verse 19. Read it. He said, vengeance is mine. One of the things that God really hates is evil, inflicting evil on innocent person, lying. That's why the Bible said God hates lying lips. It comes from the heart. And he can punish you by way. That's why give me your Nebuchadnezzar. Look at Nebuchadnezzar. God made him to eat grass because he inflicted pains on people. He lied on people. He jailed people. The last thing that he was going to do before then, just as you see the world today, that's how Nebuchadnezzar was ruling everybody. Anything he wants to do as president, he was doing it. Things were working in his favor. All of his ministers were cheering him on what he was doing. They were justifying all over the place. The last thing now, after he done all of those things for years, God said this is your boss start. If you ever attempt to with the 3 Hebrew boys, you finish. That's why when he put the 3 Hebrew boys in the fire after they refused to bow to him. Today we see it. The speaker refused to bow to Nebuchadnezzar. So they are doing any and everything to get him in the fiery furnace, he and his colleagues. And God is with Prophetic Kofa and the rest of the lawmakers. Just as he was in the fire with the 3 Hebrew brothers. What Nebuchadnezzar said, he said, he called his own man, he said, look, we put 3, but we seen 4. There is a 4th man. Y'all read Daniel chapter 4 and see. Go to Daniel chapter 4, 25, 26, 27, all the way to 33, 34. You'll see. He made Nebuchadnezzar to eat grass because of his dictatorial and tyrannical rule. He suffocated Nebuchadnezzar. He stayed the same God today. When you say he's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, that the same, you saying that the same way he punished people in the days of old, he's doing it today. He's not divided in himself. Why you lying for? You don't get nothing to prove. God will punish you. Hayaka. God will punish you when you will go into your home. And you know how God can do it? At the same thing he told Jezebel. The one that you love the most. If you think that you Mr. Boss, you Mr. Tyrannical Boss, you Mr. Dictatorial Boss, you Mr. Despotic Boss. If you think that you will be in it forever and ever, you know what God can do? The person that you love the most in your house, amongst your children, your feared male, the person that you love the most, that's what he told Jezebel. The one that you love the most, the child, the boy or girl child that you love the most, that one God can go for. And may you cry. Let me give you an example of this in Liberia. This is not a mockery, but it is a reality. Please continue to play the King's Cash giveaway. It's 10,000 we are giving you. Dial star 799 star 100 hash. Play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50, and then you can have your 10,000. I'm about to check. So you might be that person for the 10,000 on Wednesday, midweek, and that could take you into the weekend. And then the weekend you could win another 10,000, and then you are set in Barkai's tribulation period. Let me give you this example so you understand what I'm saying. Ebola, was instant. Though it was deadly, but God provided provision. The people who had power, they were using their power, and they were trampling on the innocent, the downtrodden, the peasants, and they were diverting medications and a lot more. They were refusing to conjugate the verb because they felt that they were leaders. All kinds of things were happening here. They were prevailing on lawmakers, you do this, you do that. Oh, all kinds of things. They were being rhetorical. When God got ready, one of the persons, he cried. He cried when God got ready. People were dying. They were showing no concern. Not at all, just as you see today. They were showing no concern when God got ready. One of the lawmakers, the man almost ate the semen. He almost ate the semen raw. Edward Ford, he cried in JFK compound. His daughter were going. But the other people were dying. They had the money, they had the power, they had the influence to do things to save other lives. But it was not their concern. They were concerned about their own. So God said, oh, thank you. I'm the God of all. I'm not the God of few. Since you're diverting and my people are dying and you think you have the power and authority, so I will punish you. Edward Ford cried. He cried. I mean, you go to him. He said, he'll tell you he's still living with that memory. He cried. He fell over his daughter. He cried. Saw his daughter gory. He almost ate the ground. That's how God can punish. The man made it clear. The one that you love the most. And not only, I'm not saying this only for these politicians that I'm referencing, but you also have to be careful because you have people that you're dealing with too. You have people that you're supervising. You have responsibility that you are many. It can be church, politics, business, whatever. It's for everybody. You just have to be careful. The one, that's why God said, the one that you love most, the men are doing all the things to fanatical, but God said, okay, good. Mr. This, and this girl is your lovely daughter. I'm going there. That I won't go take. And you cry and cry and cry and cry. Sometimes he will make you to just look at yourself and look at the government and say, and just tear the uniform and say, I'm working in, no, you're not a part of the government again. I'm working for the government. That's how God can do it. God can make you cry. And then you curse your own government, you curse your president and say, take your job, I don't want it again. It's not because of you. My daughter go. I know. That's how they make it work. Why I told you to make him wait for his suit to get cold before you drink it. Okay. Esther Bolbato will say, right. Slovo, Paris Slovo say, can dead man what? Okay, man, let me do this thing quick. Time is of the essence. You have to have your say. Okay, so yeah, I should have blended it, but Harry, no problem. So the Secretary General of the Congress of Democratic Change, Jefferson Koji, will share his opinion, literally, with the President of the United States, Donald Trump. A form of communication, and this is how you do. This is how civilized, rational people do. Unlike the other people in Unity Party, they just talk, nothing happening. So the Marin, CDC Secretary General Jefferson Koji. Okay, here's it. February 26, 2025, His Excellency President Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Northwest, Washington, D.C., 2500. Dear Mr. President, dear President Trump, 1 year ago, I envisioned that the United States of America will once again elect you as president. I was optimistic that the regional and global problems that persisted under the Democrats, corruption, democratic instability, continuous aggression in the Middle East, major human rights violations, and the growing threat of the sexual revolution will come to an end. In particular, our world has been subjected to an unending redefinition of sexual identities and orientations, diverting American taxpayer funds from addressing real existential problems from history to promoting gender revisionism in vulnerable African nations and even within the United States itself. In Africa, the issue extends far beyond teaching a boy to be a girl or a girl to be a boy. Our fundamental challenges stem from within, and we must stand in solidarity with a leader like you, whose vision aligns with the deep desires of both the African and American people. Your presidency comes at a critical time when nations are failing to establish mechanisms for self-reliance while simultaneously imposing artificial hardships on their citizens. I am confident that your leadership will promote self-sufficiency, personal responsibility, and the values of self-determination. We are tired of being beggars in a land endowed with God-given natural resources, resources that should be used to feed our people and eradicate extreme poverty. The Secretary General. This is what we call letter to the president. Then he came to Liberia. He said the state of affairs in Liberia. In Liberia, the misuse of U.S. foreign aid has led to deep social and political crisis. For example, the 17 million tax advisory project was canceled, and USAID allocated 1.5 million for voter confidence. Yet our country remains mired in corruption and instability. President Joseph Boakai has consistently violated our laws, undermining democratic accountability and the very foundations on which our democracy was built. He orchestrated legislative coup d'etat using state resources to remove illegally elected Speaker, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, in an effort to consolidate control over the legislature and interfere with fiscal policy. Additionally, he is operating a treasonable budget, one that was not signed by the duly elected Speaker, thereby eliminating the necessary checks and balances in governance. According to Article 76, Section 5 of the Liberian Constitution, treason consists of abrogating or attempting to abrogate, subverting or attempting or conspiring to subvert the Constitution by use of force or show of force or any other means which attempts to undermine this Constitution. Under President Boakai, human rights violations have reached an unprecedented level, with over 100 reported deaths in just 1 year. These deaths stem from state-sponsored prosecution, sodomy, gang rape, police brutality, and ritualistic killings. Despite these grave atrocities, the president has failed to reconcile our nation, exacerbating Liberia's deep wounds and hindering collective national development and peace. President Bouaka has also engaged in political harassment against institutions and individuals who expressed dissent. On August 5th and 22nd, 2024, police violently invaded the headquarters of the Coalition for Democratic Change, attacking peaceful citizens and causing over 50,000 in property damage. Furthermore, President Bouaka instructed the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia to deploy soldiers at the airport to prevent former President George Weah from accessing the VIP lounge upon his arrival. This act of state-sanctioned intimidation nearly resulted in an assassination attempt on former President George Weah on June 6, 2024. Additionally, Liberians who Weah on this day were brutally has also influenced the arbitrary dismissal of numerous employees at the Monrovia city government for simply expressing their grievances on social media, a clear violation of their constitutional rights. The CDC secretary goes on to say, don't worry, I'm getting there as clear, and then the line is for y'all. Rampant corruption. That's the next caption in his letter. Rampant corruption. He said, when he assumed office under his so-called rescue mission, he pledged to fight corruption and uphold good governance. However, his administration has become a hub of financial misconduct. Some notable cases include 2.3 million in unaccounted miscellaneous expenses, 15 million in off-budget expenditures, 100,000 transfer onto the president's personal debit card for unauthorized transactions, 374,239.24 pay to former central bank governor Aloysius Talo to coerce his resignation, 75,000 allocated for a 45,000 vehicle for the National Oil Company of Liberia CEO, Rostalin Swakogo Dennis, inflicting costs through fraud. Despite these glaring cases of corruption, millions of Liberians lack access to clean drinking water, electricity, employment, healthcare. Given this level of mismanagement, Liberia is unprepared to handle direct foreign aid under President Bouaka. A full-scale investigation into previous USAID grants to Liberia is necessary, particularly the 1.5 million allocated for voter confidence. As the city mayor of Monrovia, I previously warned the U.S. government that USAID funds were being used to manipulate electoral integrity. Evidence has since emerged that the election coordinating committee, which received these funds, was actively colluding with the ruling Unity Party. USAID's unwavering support for the ECC, as expressed by Ms. Catherine Rodriguez, was an unacceptable intrusion into Liberia's political system. Appreciation for Ellen Marks' efforts in governance. Okay, let me just do this one. Okay, it's not really a long letter. He said, I want to extend my sincere appreciation to the U.S. Department of Government Efficiency and Ellen Marks for exposing corruption within USAID and in countries like Liberia. Investigating foreign aid misuse is a necessary step toward accountability and reform, ensuring that American taxpayer money is used appropriately. A plea for Liberians facing deportation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, Koji. Hey, my pigin, thank you very much. No disrespect to you if I say my pigin, but you know what we can pass it. The Honorable SG. Yes, this is what we call humor. The man are in government, but the man appealing. Bouaka, who's the president? Bouaka made that all right, man. Bouaka can look at the people. You're saying in America, you're doing nothing. You're just enjoying in pleasure whole day. Trump coming for you. Is that what a president, a man who calls himself leader, faced with such a an intricate situation, a delicate one to say. Yeah. Thank you, SG. So yeah, what he said to that: plead for Liberians facing deportation. President Trump, I urge you to reconsider the deportation of 1,563 Liberians currently residing in the United States. Many of them fled political persecution and violence and have contributed immensely to both the U.S. economy and Liberia's development through remittances. Deporting them under President Bouakar's regime, marked by widespread rape, murder, and economic collapse, will endanger their lives and devastate their families. Your previous policies demonstrated a commitment to protecting Liberians, including your 2018 extension of defer enforced departure and the 2019 enactment under the Liberian Refugee Immigration Fairness provision. A similar act of compassion today would strengthen U.S.-Liberia relations and safeguard thousands of vulnerable individuals. Upholding religious values over gender confusion. As a devout Christian, thank you very much. As a devout Christian, anybody who fears God can never leave God behind. Always put God first. And when you put God first in everything, God protects you, God blesses you, God increases you, God shield you away from your enemies and make your enemies to bow before you. When you can put God first in everything. Honorable SG, as a devout Christian, I am grateful for your efforts to restore the image of the Holy Bible in the White House and across Africa. Yes. Yes. That was one, if not the first, but the second that Trump did. Say everything God. He said this country belongs to God. This country, Liberia, is going through all that is going through under Nebuchadnezzar right now because they want to acknowledge God. We are acknowledge God. When we are go talk about Christianity and calling pastor, the people say, oh, we are not pastor. He not pastor, he acting like pastor. He president, he go big church. The man who is a deacon, who is the ordained deacon now, yeah, you see, he ain't got time for God. You lying on anybody who get fear of a pope will not do what he did at the legislature, will not do what the police is doing to those guys. As a devout Christian, I am grateful for your efforts to restore the image of the Holy Bible in the White House and across America. The establishment of the Fifth Advisory Council is a monumental step in preserving religious freedom and combating radical gender ideologies. Your leadership in this era mirrors the biblical role of Cyrus, the Persian ruler who liberated the Jews from Jerusalem. Very true. Conclusion. Mr. President, as the former mayor of Monrovia and Secretary General of the Congress for Democratic Change, I implore you to stand with the Liberian people in our fight against corruption, human rights violations, and democratic erosion. Liberia has always shared a deep historical bond with the United States. Our capital city, Monrovia, is named after President James Monroe, and our largest hospital honors President John F. Kennedy. Today, we look to you as a leader who can help Liberia through its current crisis. Your leadership is critical in protecting Liberians at home and abroad, ensuring accountability in U.S. foreign aid, and defending the values that define both of our nations. Sincerely, Jefferson T. Koji, National Secretary General, Congress for Democratic Change, former mayor, Monrovia City Government. Yes, that's it. You see that? This is what Bouakar should have done. Jefferson Koji, their CDC communication has reached the White House. It reached the White House. This is what Bouakar needed to have done. That's what you call leadership in crisis. When you have things, Donald Trump say he's deporting Liberian 1,000 plus, then you immediately move. Do a formal communication explaining the conditions. That's what Ellen did. Ellen did it. Ellen sent letter when I think 3 or 4 times then Ellen was successful with the TPS, temporary protective status. when that was announced. Ellen did a formal communication detailing everything why the TPS should be deferred. Then she will move to send delegates there. That woman, no reason she will continue to be doyen of Liberian politics and diplomacy. The woman will send people there. Then she will appeal, she will come on nationally to appeal why those Liberians on TPS should not be sent home. She will state in writing the conditions in Liberia. And then she will move to say publicly. That's how you persuade people. The people listen to your concept. Okay. That's how every time that thing came out, Ellen will move to neutralize it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she did it 3 or 4 times. That man here now who work under the woman, hey man, the people say they're sending your people back. All you have to do, just say that, look, you have to do a quick communication and send it to Trump. It may reach on his desk, but his people will see it and they will take some kind of action. Let's do a podcast and send it to Washington. You'll get where's my media team? We'll prepare the script and let's do a short podcast, a 5-minute podcast, and send it why Trump should hold on. It reaches Washington, they watch it, they say, okay, we'll hold on. We're not sending these people back. Now we can understand Liberia's condition, this and that. Even though they are out of the war, they had transition, a new government in place, but they have this, they stay struggling with the station there. So we'll pause there. Maybe we might give them a year or 2. That's what you do. But you say, the people saying in America, they your own pleasure Trump coming for them. So their communication here now from Jefferson Koji, who is the Secretary General of the Congress of Democratic Change and former city mayor, it gone straight on Donald Trump desk. They will speak of Jefferson Koji letter. That's what you do. That's how you show leadership. Bwaka, that's what you should have done. Chief. Okay. Let's go. Let's go with a few calls and then few reactions, and then we are out. Okay, but let me see. Yeah, you can. What's in? What a minute, what you call it? Yeah, just few, and then we out. I can take few, and then we out. Time is of the essence. Hello. You are on, Chief. You call and you go off. You are on. Let's get to the women's line. The men are ready.
What do we are? Yeah. Hello.
But I was saying, my man. Okay, you want to talk?
Sorry. That network. Mr. Andrew, this is David King, and I do join you from my residence.
Yeah, let's hear you, Mr. King.
You see, people brag about leadership, right? But today we don't see any leadership in Bwaka.
No, not at all.
No, the communication from our Secretary General, I think, well taking into consideration that has shown true leadership. It has shown that the young people in the CDC, they were not given preferment by President Weah because they were young people who stood by the CDC. But he saw some level of leadership in those people. And he gave them leadership, and they were being jealous about those young people who they gave preferment to. Now today they got a ball in a court. They don't even know how to handle critical national issue as it relates to our country. Mr. Joseph Tabakoji wrote that letter purposely to show to Mr. Bwaka, this is how leaders speak. Right. And this is how leaders are supposed to show concern for the citizens, not to mock your people. Mr. Bwaka is a playboy. He's a toy.
Yeah, he mocked them. All right, thank you, Mr. King. Thank you. Hello.
Mr. Andrew?
Yeah.
This is Mazali calling for District 17 to Big Pizza, Christianville.
Let's hear you.
I want to say thank you for your talking point, Papa. And I want to thank the Secretary General, Jefferson Tamakochi. Let God bless him. Let him more great. Let God add knowledge of for at least being reason. The thing what Joseph Nima Baka is supposed to do. And that one Jefferson and CDC did. Yes, Yeah, when we used to be passing, I must see December DNA. When we used to be passing, they say when you go to school, you say it's December, they say you don't know nothing. But I want to tell you, thank you, God will bless you. The thing what just said you supposed to do for the Liberian in America, he mocked at them. And today, he's taking action. I want to bless you ever so much. God bless you. Thank you for putting me the time, Papa.
Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Andrew.
Yeah, let's hear you quick. Your name?
Yeah, it's Nehemiah calling from Duboro.
Nehemiah, strong man in the Bible.
Yeah, you see, leadership comes with responsibility.
And Nehemiah showed that leadership of the building of the wall.
Yes. So when you are a leader, you should be able to set example that other people will benefit from your leadership. But you see, why our president, up to now, you haven't talked on certain because he's a man that he doesn't care for his citizens. So I want to appreciate, let's say, Jefferson Koji for a brilliant role he played on behalf of the Liberian citizens that are in the U.S. So this is how leaders lead, that a citizen will be able to benefit from the ideology and whatsoever, and they portray. So I want to appreciate him. Thank you very much for affording me the brilliant time. Thank you.
Thank you too for having your say. All right, thank you so much. Let's go on this side. Let's go out of Liberia. Let's see. Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Sam Andrew.
Yes, and this is Kings 88.5.
Okay. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
I've been talking to your man, Abraham Godson Williams.
Okay, Chief. No, sorry, ABA is not on. ABA is on this evening. At 8 o'clock. All right. So you want to exercise patience until that time. He's on at 8. Face the issues. Okay. So that's it, man. Let's see. Who else? Who will comment here? Keita Mohammed Sekou say, good job. Keep it up. Mafi Cholo plays a Boaka is green. Yeah, very green. Philip Nangwe said he needs to file lawsuit against what? No, I understand what you're saying by this. No. Bishop said God is a just God. Yeah, he punishes injustice, widespread corruption, and other stuff. So let the police people and other people be inflicting injustice on innocent people. Josephine Yuma say, is this police IG really serious? I believe he needs more training. Perry Flobot said the Zubi government shall fall no matter how much they stay in power. Let them continue to lie on innocent people. Lawrence K. Sherman said, Hussein, why has the police not invited any member of the majority bloc and the police officers that were assigned at the capital? Mercy B. Derry Kofa, Boaka government has already collapsed for lying on innocent people. Lies brought them to power up to this time. They are still lying. Ruben Bull say Liberia has turned into something different under this government. Moses Massaquin said, okay, he's quoting. He said, Michael Jackson said, they don't really care about us. Yes, that's true. Nessie Jordan, because they don't care about the poor Liberian people. Okay. So, thank you all, man. I get really yeah, I can feel how you are, all of you are in the conversation. You are so into the show. Thank you so much. I can read all the comments. The comments continue to come down. The calls too. I'm already out of time. I beg you, please. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. Hopefully, if God permits, we're back tomorrow. The news is on at 6. and just under 30 minutes from now. And then at 8 this evening, it's Real Talk with Teacher Light. You don't want to miss it. Thank you ever so much for being with us. You spice it up. Had it not been for you, we wouldn't have been successful with it today. Thank you so much. You are so massive. You are so extraordinary. You are so special. Oh, just so before we go, just so you know, the world's greatest team is playing tonight. FC Barcelona, Benfica, 8 p.m. Liberian time. But guess what? I am watching the game and my earpiece stuck in my ear, listening to Teacher Light. So that's how it's going to be. That's how I watch the game. While watching FC Barcelona game, my earpiece stuck, listening to Teacher Light to get more info too. Okay, thank you, man. So all my FC Barcelona fans, we on tonight, 8 p.m. Benfica. The door one then call Atletico Madrid to go sit down there. They allow Real Madrid to beat them. But it was tough on Madrid too. But anyway, we can depend on Atletico Madrid, man. Can depend on them. Atletico Madrid, lo Aladura church people can be yo. Y'all go see good football tonight, man. FCB. Okay, I see y'all. All the Real Madrid and Chelsea fan and my boss man are Real Madrid Chelsea. Teacher Light. Teacher Light, I see y'all. FCB.